political story out of South Carolina. The lieutenant governor comparing poor people to stray animals. Lieutenant Governor Andre Bauer has made it known that he wants to run for governor to replace current governor Mark Sanford, who is not running again and was involved in his own scandal, as you know about. But here's what Bauer said about school lunch programs at a town hall meeting. Quote, "My grandmother was not a highly educated woman, but she told me as a small child to quit feeding stray animals. You know why? Because they breed. You're facilitating the problem if you give an animal or a person ample food supply. They will reproduce, especially ones that don't think too much further than that. And so what you've got to do is you've got to curtail that type of behavior. They don't know any better." Bauer has now said he did not regret his comments, but, quote, "maybe the stray animal was not the best metaphor." Leora Chapman, state government reporter with the state newspaper, joins me now. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
What's been the reaction to these comments and that Mr. Bauer is saying, hey, I meant what I said, maybe I made a bad metaphor here?
Pretty intense. You've got a lot of people responding to this, and this has become a big question about whether or not this helps or hurts him in a Republican primary. What he's really targeting is the idea of entitlements. He says he wants to rethink them. He gives his own story about growing up poor. Those things play well, I think, with a lot of the Republican base in the state. So the question is it going to hurt him or is it going to help him? Particularly in the general election, I think, there are more independents involved, and maybe it hurts him there. But that's one of the stories we're working on today.
What else can you tell us about this lieutenant governor? I know he was very vocal at the heart of Mark Sanford's scandal with his affairs. What else do we know about him that would maybe explain, other than that he grew up poor, these comments?
Well, this is a very competitive race, so I will say that. He's pretty shrewd. He's won 2 statewide elections, and he's done so being the underdog a lot. So he's not to be underestimated, and he's certainly not at this moment seen to be the leader in the Republican primary. But this is a moment, and it's a moment where I think he was pretty calculated and not apologizing, because I think there are a lot of the Republican base that might agree with him.
Right, because I understand that this town hall meeting, the audience, no one in the audience reacted negatively to that, but what are the critics saying specifically about how he articulated himself in this?
Well, clearly there are a lot of people who maybe even agree with the intent of it, do not agree with equating people with animals. That certainly is the part that he wants to amend, but he's still not apologizing for the intent. So there are even people who are fellow Republicans who say that it's regrettable that he make that comment. And also, too, you got to think this state has 12.6% unemployment, which is a record. So there are a lot more people who are asking for government help today than there would have been 5 years ago. So the lieutenant governor is running a little risk there, because I think he may be offending more people today than he would have been when the economy's good.
Right. It is incredible. I mean, in other parts of the country, you say something like this, your career probably might be over. But there, as you pointed out, it's still up in the air whether he will survive comments made about people equating them to stray animals. Thank you, Leroy. Greatly appreciate it.